So, welcome back, guys. I am Imam Jani. Welcomes you all to your own channel, Biology Circle. And so, guys, our journey stop here with the chapter of class 9 tissue. Guys, we have completed one chapter of class 9, that is cell, the fundamental unit of life. And now we move on to the second chapter, that is tissue. So, guys, you are in your own channel, Biology Circle, and without wasting any time, let's start the topic. First of all, guys, let's before starting the topic tissue, let's come back to a term or our structure and functional unit, that is cell. That is cell. In previous lecture, guys, that is previous chapter of class 9, first chapter, that is cell, the fundamental unit of life, we have discussed cell, a detailed explanation and also a definition of cell. What is cell? I write a structure, a structural and functional unit of life. Okay, guys. So what is cell? Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Now, when there are many of cells, one here, there are different types of cells. Okay? So when cells of, listen carefully, guys, when cells of similar shape, similar size come together to form a group, to perform a specific function is known as tissue. I repeat, when different cells of same size or either same shape come together to perform a similar or a specific function is known as tissue. So I write here tissue, a group of cells of similar shape and size, or similar shape and size, come together to perform specific function क्या हुआ मार्कर यहाँ पे लिख दिया specific function क्या हो गया to perform specific function marker को क्या हो गया is known as tissue. So guys, what we can write, that is tissue is a group of cells of similar shape, similar size come together to perform a specific function. Now, group of cell is known as tissue. Now what is the group of tissue is known as? Similarly, when tissue of specific shape, specific size come together to perform a specific function is known as organ. So group of tissue is known as organ. Okay. Now similarly, repeat it. When group of organ of similar shape, similar size come together to perform a specific function is known as organ system. So I write group of organ, that is organ system. Okay, guys, organ system. So this is the basic we can say an intro of chapter tissue. We discussed cell, we discussed tissue, we discussed organ, and we discussed organ system. Now this organ system, each organism like human beings, animals, all of us have organ system level of organization. I write it here, human beings. So let's say if one asks you a question that which level of organization human being possess, So we can say that human being has organ system level of organization. Now guys, as this whole chapter is based on tissue, so in this chapter we mainly we can say our main aim is to discuss or a detailed one of tissue. Okay guys, so I rub this, then we start the main concept of our chapter, that is tissue, a detailed explanation about. So let's start guys. Let's start. So guys, there are mainly, as we all know, in my previous lecture of chapter cell, the fundamental unit of life, in that video we discuss a brief one about tissue. That tissue, as we all know, that tissue are mainly of two types. Right here, two types. Tissue are mainly of two types. That is, first one is plant tissue, and second one is animal tissue. Animal tissue. So mainly there are two types of tissue, that is plant tissue and animal tissue. Now, plant tissue, in this chapter first we discuss a detailed concept of plant tissue, their subdivision, properties of subdivided group, and then we come to animal tissue. So let's start with the plant tissue. Guys, plant tissue are mainly of two types. First is meristematic tissue, meristematic tissue, and second is permanent tissue. Permanent tissue. Now, this meristematic tissue again divided into two. One is based on position. On basis of position, it is of three types. That is areolar, adipose, sorry guys, यहाँ पे थोड़ी सी मिस्टेक हो गई है, तो बस यहाँ पे एक हल्की सी मिस्टेक हो गई थी. So meristematic tissue based on the position are of three types. First is apical, lateral, and intercalary. Or full name we can write apical meristem, lateral meristem, or intercalary meristem. Now, this second division of meristematic tissue based on the origin. First one is based on the position, guys. Apical, lateral, intercalary. Second one is based on origin. So I can write here based on origin. Based on origin, guys. Again, it is of three types. That is promeristem, primary meristem, and secondary meristem. So guys, this is the we can say a flow chart of division of meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue is divided into two, based on position and based on origin. Based on position, apical, lateral, intercalary. Based on origin, it is promeristem, primary meristem, secondary meristem. Now, guys, in this chapter, we mainly our main aim is to discuss apical meristem, lateral meristem, and intercalary meristem. For based on origin like promeristem, primary meristem, secondary meristem, we have to only know the names, not all about the information about this. Now it's chance of permanent tissue. Permanent tissue, same thing like meristematic. Permanent tissue are of three types: first, second, third. One is conducting tissue, guys. Conducting tissue. This is protective tissue. And supporting one. Supporting tissue. Guys, this protective tissue is again divided into two. This protective tissue is again, guys, divided into two: epidermis and cork. Cork. This supporting tissue is divided into three. That is our favorite type. First, parenchyma. Second one, collenchyma. Third one, sclerenchyma. And this conductive tissue is again divided into two. That is conducting xylem and phloem. So this is, guys, a very important flow chart of division of plant tissue. Animal tissue we discuss later. Plant tissue is mainly divided into two: meristematic tissue, permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue is, guys, divided into two on the basis of position and on the basis of origin. On the basis of origin, only we have to know the names, not as important like as compared to based on position. Based on origin, it is of promeristem, primary meristem, and secondary meristem. And, guys, a very important one I again mark here. That is based on origin, it is apical, lateral, intercalary. Permanent tissue, again, three types: protective, supporting, conducting. Protective tissue, guys, again of two types: epidermis, cork. Supporting, again our favorite, that is three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. And conductive, again of two types: xylem and phloem. So, guys, this flow chart is very, very important. फटाफट screenshot लो और हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. So, guys, please take the screenshot. Please. We have to complete this whole chapter in one shot. So, guys, 1, 2, 3. Now I can run. So, guys, we have seen plant tissue division or classification, we can say. So, mainly permanent and meristematic. So let's start with the meristematic one. Meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue, that is apical. I already told, guys, that on the basis of origin we classify meristematic into three. That is promeristem, primary meristem, and secondary meristem. Is not as important as meristematic tissue classified on the basis of position. So in this chapter we have only discussed or a detailed concept about apical meristem, some characteristics, intercalary meristem, and lateral meristem. So apical one, lateral one, and third one is intercalary. Intercalary. Guys, first of all, let's start with apical. Apical one is present in plants at growing region of stem, roots, etc. Means guys, apical meristem is the tissue present in plant at the growing region, that is present at the growing region of plant, like root is a growing region of plant, stem is also growing region of plant, sorry. Lateral meristem present parallel to longitudinal axis of plant. Lateral meristem guys present parallel to longitudinal axis of plant, or we can also it is present laterally to surface of leaves. So lateral meristem is present parallel to longitudinal axis of plant or laterally to the surface of leaves. Now this is their location. Now intercalary meristem. So apical meristem at the growing region of stem and roots, lateral meristem parallel to longitudinal axis of plant. Now intercalary meristem. And about intercalary meristem, it is present at the nodes, internodes, or the spaces between leaves. So this is about the position of apical meristem, lateral meristem and intercalary meristem. Now their function. Intercalary meristem, let's start with apical meristem. Apical meristem, function of apical meristem is to increase the length of plant. So apical meristem function is to increase the length of plant. For lateral meristem function is to increase the girth, or we can say diameter, thickness of plant. So what is the function of lateral meristem? The function of lateral meristem is to increase the girth, or we can say diameter or thickness of plant. Intercalary meristem function is growth, that is cells of this tissue divide rapidly. As we know, tissue is a group of cells. So intercalary meristem, the cells of intercalary meristem tissue is divide rapidly, due to which it increases the growth of a plant. So there is meristematic tissue, apical, lateral and intercalary. On the basis of position, on the basis of origin, we don't have to discuss. Now this is all about meristematic tissue. Now let's come to permanent tissue. So permanent tissue, as we know, three types. We see in the flow chart, that is supportive, conductive and protective. So protective, supportive and conductive. Protective permanent tissue are of two types, epidermis and cork. First is epidermis. Second one is cork. Now again their location and the function. Epidermis is the outermost layer. As the name suggests, epi, that is the outermost. So epidermis is the outermost layer. And cork, it is also outermost. It is also outermost, but present after epidermis. So epidermis is the outermost layer, and cork is also outermost but present after epidermis. Similarly, function is to protect the plant from infection. Similarly, same function, protect the plant from infection and desiccation. So this is protective tissue. Protective permanent tissue are of two types: epidermis, cork. This is their location and function. Now supportive tissue, as our favorite, three types. First is parenchyma. Second is collenchyma. Third is sclerenchyma. So supportive meristematic tissue, permanent tissue are of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Now, for this three, we first write their function. That is very simple one. Parenchyma, temporary support. Let's say if one can ask that what is the function of parenchyma. So function of parenchyma is the temporary support to plant. Collenchyma function, mechanical support. So what is the function of collenchyma? It provides mechanical support to plant. Now for sclerenchyma, very simple, temporary support, mechanical support, and for sclerenchyma it gives strength to plant. So how do you realize that? Very simple one. Means like in an order: temporary support, mechanical support, strength. Temporary support, mechanical support, strength. Temporary support, repeat. Temporary support, mechanical support, strength. Their function. Now, as we know, these two, parenchyma, collenchyma, are living cells. What is this? Living cells. But as sclerenchyma are dead cells. Parenchyma and collenchyma are the living cells, guys, and sclerenchyma is a dead cell. Now, if one can say living cell is the similarity of parenchyma and collenchyma, what about dissimilarity? Of parenchyma collenchyma? So the dissimilarity is parenchyma, walls of parenchyma tissue is thin walled. Walls of parenchyma tissue is thin walled, but collenchyma tissue wall is thick walled. So this is about supportive tissue. We have completed just in 2 to 3 minutes. Parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. First of all, order. First of all, function. Temporary support, mechanical support, and strength. Now, difference. Parenchyma and collenchyma, living cell. Sclerenchyma, dead cell. Now, what is the difference between parenchyma and collenchyma? Parenchyma walls are thin walled. Collenchyma walls are thick walled. Now, let's move or jump to conducting cells. Okay, guys. I know this class is something fast as compared to other class, but guys, a very simple and common chapter we have to complete in one shot. So for conducting, permanent conducting, it is of two types. First is xylem. As we discussed, guys, again in the cell, the fundamental unit of life. So I repeat again and again, if you don't not watch my previous lecture of chapter cell, the fundamental unit of life, then please go and must watch xylem and phloem. So these are the two types of conducting permanent tissue, xylem and phloem. Again guys, xylem. Xylem is for movement of food. Xylem is for movement of food, and phloem is for movement of minerals, minerals or water, minerals or water. Sorry. So xylem and phloem, their parts, their subparts. So xylem parts are guys. Xylem parts are first xylem fibers, xylem fibers. Second, xylem parenchyma. Xylem parenchyma. Phloem, phloem fibers. Phloem parenchyma. Sieve tubes. Companion cells. On basis of chapter guys, we have only to discuss this two and this two. Xylem fiber, xylem parenchyma, phloem fiber, phloem parenchyma. Okay guys. Now for xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem. Xylem as I tell, movement for food, phloem movement of water. Now one more difference between xylem and phloem. In xylem guys, flow of water molecule is upward as water. As we know guys, roots are the source of water for plants. Okay guys, and xylem is a tissue for movement of guys, one correction. Xylem is for movement of minerals or water, and phloem is for movement of food. Sorry guys. So let's come back again. Movement of water. So as movement of water is from roots, so in xylem movement is upward. From bottom to upward. So I write here movement is upward. Movement is upward guys. Please note all such things. Now for phloem, food is produced at the leaves. So in phloem, movement is downward. Now again one important difference guys. In xylem movement is unidirectional. What is unidirectional? Unidirectional means guys, unidirection only in one direction. So xylem movement is only one direction. Like water we get plants get water from roots and from soil, and roots transport it to whole parts or whole body of plant. So the movement of water or minerals is upward, not downward, is upward. So movement is only in one direction, that is unidirectional. But in phloem it is not unidirectional, it is like multidirectional. It is not unidirectional, it is multidirectional. So phloem for transport of food, it is require all parts of the body. So phloem is multidirectional. So permanent protective tissue, epidermis and cork, supportive parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, and conducting xylem and phloem. Now we can rub this. If you want to take screenshot, then please. So 1, 2 and 3. So here we completed plant tissue, subdivided into permanent tissue and meristematic tissue. Detailed one about meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Let's one more thing, guys. A difference between permanent tissue, and meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue. A common difference between permanent tissue and meristematic tissue. First one, permanent tissue are complex tissue, means their structure is not simple one. So permanent tissue are complex tissue, but meristematic tissue is simple tissue. Permanent tissue metabolic rate is very slow. In permanent tissue, metabolic rate is very slow as compared to meristematic tissue. It is metabolically active. Third, complex tissue, simple tissue, metabolic rate is very slow, and it is metabolically active. Third difference, permanent tissue lost the capacity to divide and grow. Cells of meristematic tissue divide and grow. So guys, these are the main three differences between permanent tissue and meristematic tissue. They both are plant tissue, but the difference between permanent meristematic tissue are the simple tissue, means they are structurally simple. Meristematic. Permanent tissue are complex tissue, structurally complex. Meristematic tissue is metabolically active, whereas permanent tissue metabolic rate is very slow. For meristematic tissue, cells of meristematic tissue have the capacity to divide and grow. As compared to permanent tissue lost the capacity of cells of permanent tissue. I can write here cells. Guys, cells of permanent tissue lost the capacity to divide and grow. So these are the main three differences between permanent tissue and meristematic tissue. So guys, here we completed the plant tissue, half part of chapter tissue. So let's done a quick recap. That is, plant tissue is divided into two: meristematic tissue, permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue, guys, divided into two based on the position and based on the origin. On the basis of the position, that is very important: apical meristem, intercalary meristem and lateral meristem. On the basis of origin, not as much important as compared to based on position. On the basis of based on origin, it is promeristem, primary meristem and secondary meristem. Now let's come back to permanent tissue. Permanent tissue, guys, are of three types: protective permanent tissue, supportive permanent tissue and conducting permanent tissue. Protective permanent tissue are of two types: epidermis and cork. Conducting tissue are of three types: xylem and phloem. And supportive permanent tissue are of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. And after that, we done the difference between, or differentiate the common difference between permanent tissue and meristematic tissue. So guys, here we completed the plant tissue. Now let's continue our job of animal tissue. Okay guys. So guys, we have completed plant tissue. Now we start our journey of animal tissue. That is animal tissue. Animal tissue. Similarly, guys, as we done for plant tissue, animal tissue also we explain in a flow chart manner. Animal tissue is also divided. First one is nervous tissue. Nervous tissue. Second one is connective tissue. Connective tissue. Connective tissue. Third one is muscle tissue. Muscle tissue. And guys, fourth one I tell you later. First, connective tissue is fluid connective, that is blood and lymph. Second one is supportive connective tissue, which is bone and cartilage. Guys, bone and cartilage. Third one is proper connective tissue. That is tissue that is areolar, adipose and fibrous. For muscles tissue is three types: striated muscles, non-striated, and guys यहाँ पे लिख लेता हूँ cardiac. Third one is cardiac. And the fourth division of animal tissue, that is epithelial, which is of types. First one, squamous, ciliated, columnar. Third one is columnar. Fourth one, cuboidal. Fifth one is simple, and sixth one is guys glandular. So this six type of epithelial tissue, this whole flow chart of subdivision of animal tissue, little bit complex and lengthy, but very simple. Animal tissue is divided into four types: nervous, connective, muscle, epithelial. Simple one, muscle, no subdivision. Muscle, there are no subdivision. For connective we have three: fluid connective, supportive connective, and proper connective. Again, for fluid connective we have two: blood and lymph. For supporting connective we have again two: bone and cartilage. For proper connecting we have again three: areolar, adipose, fibrous. For muscle tissue we have cardiac, non-striated and striated. And for epithelial we have six types: squamous, ciliated, columnar, cuboidal, simple, and glandular. Now guys, one by one we have only see their features, important one. So let's start with the nervous tissue. Guys, nervous tissue mainly include two cells. One is structural. One is that is all the mainly schools can describe it that one cell is neuron. That is the structural and functional unit of nervous system. But the other cell guys, fast, tell the other cell. It is neuroglia. Neuroglia. A very, guys, little and very important. This thing is not tell by any mainly not tell by any school or there's any channel video, but this is only present you by biology circle. So guys, nervous tissue have two cells, neuron and neuroglia. As neuron structure and functional unit of life, for nervous tissue. And what is this neuroglia? Neuroglia function is to support neuron. Support neuron. Neuron have three parts, that is cell body, axon, dendrite. And what is the function of nervous tissue? To transmit the signal from brain to spinal cord to brain, or to all brain to other part of the body, or other part all over body to brain. So means all over nervous tissue function is to transmit the signal. Now let's come. So we have completed nervous tissue. Now let's come to, I can rub it. Guys, let's come to connective tissue. Connective tissue, as I said, fluid connective, supportive connective, proper connective. Let's start with the fluid connective. Blood, lymph. Now, blood and lymph, what is the function? As we all know, blood and lymph both are the fluid connective tissue present throughout the body. Both are fluid connective tissue both are present throughout the body. One major difference between blood and lymph. Blood have RBC, WBC, plasma, and other etc. But as lymph has WBC but not RBC. Okay guys, that is why lymph is colorless. So fluid connective tissue, blood and lymph, they are present throughout the body. And what is their main function? Function is to transport nutrients, transport nutrient gases throughout the body. So this is their function. So fluid connective tissue. Now let's move further to supportive connective tissue. That is bone and cartilage, guys. Bone and cartilage are again a type of connective tissue, connect muscle to muscle and muscle to tendon. So bone connect muscle to muscle. Bone is a supportive connective tissue, connect one muscle to another muscle, whereas cartilage connect one muscle to tendon. So difference between bone and cartilage, guys. Bone connect one muscle with other muscle, but whereas cartilage connect one muscle with tendon. So these are the main difference between bone and cartilage. Similarly, guys, for proper connective tissue we have areolar, adipose and fibrous. The major one is adipose. For understand the simple and basic concept of adipose is made up of fat globules. Fibrous is obviously made up of fibers. So adipose connective tissue, guys, is made up of fat globules. Now, as in our whole body, the fat, whether it is there in stomach, in hand, in thigh, all over the body, the reason of this fat deposition is this tissue, adipose. So we can say adipose tissue is the made up of fat globules. So this is connective tissue. For muscle tissue we have three: striated, non-striated and cardiac. As the cardiac name suggests, only present in heart. Cardiac tissue is only present in heart. It is cylindrical. And what is the function of cardiac tissue, guys? To pump, like muscle contraction, which results in to pump the blood from heart. So function of cardiac tissue is muscle contraction, and due to muscle contraction the result is to pump the blood from heart. Okay guys, now cardiac tissue. Now striated and non-striated. Striated and non-striated. Non-striated are smooth muscles or smooth tissue or smooth muscle, we can say. It is non-striated are involuntary. Whereas striated are guys voluntary. And skeletal. Whereas non-striated are non-skeletal. So muscle tissue, cardiac, non-striated and striated. Striated are voluntary, skeletal, non-striated is smooth, involuntary or non-skeletal. We have to increase our speed guys, because this is a one shot of class 9 reloaded. So epithelial, we have 6 types: squamous, ciliated, columnar, cuboidal, simple and granular. Guys, one thing about all this is they are classified on the basis of their shape. So let's have some common sense, like ciliated columnar has cilia, which helps in their movement. Okay guys, like ciliated epithelium has cilia, and for cilia helps in movement. Like cuboidal means their shape is cube-like shape. Okay guys, stratified. One more is guys stratified. So there are seven epithelial tissue: squamous, ciliated, columnar, cuboidal, simple, granular, stratified. Like so, cuboidal like cube-like shape. For stratified like layers. For simple, that is simple epithelial, that is thin walled. So means all this classification of epithelial tissue on the basis of shape and size. So there are 7 types of epithelial tissue: squamous, ciliated, columnar, cuboidal, simple, granular and stratified. For muscle tissue we have cardiac, striated and non-striated. For connective tissue we have supportive, fluid connective, proper connective. For proper connective we have areola, adipose, fibrous. For supportive we have bone and cartilage, and for fluid connective tissue we have blood and lymph. So mainly we have completed the animal tissue in flow chart only guys. Very fast, I think not maximum more than 10 minutes guys. We have completed this whole animal tissue in form of flow chart only. Okay guys, please take the screenshot guys, very important. Please take the screenshot, please take the screenshot. So 1 2 3 guys, I can rub it. So guys, we have here completed one shot, very fast video guys, one shot class 9th, one shot tissue, a whole intro or a best concept of tissue guys. Tissue, a group of cell, organ system. We have plant tissue, animal tissue. In plant we have permanent and meristematic. For animal we have 4 types: connective, muscular, nervous and epithelial, and further subdivided. Now guys, our last topic, or we can not topic, a last very minor, that is animal tissue and plant tissue. Guys, we have to differentiate it, because this is not sometime. I think 100 out of 99% this question comes in exam, that is differentiate between animal tissue and plant tissue, or what is the difference between animal tissue and plant tissue, and mainly for 3 marks question. Mainly I write it there guys, mainly for 3 marks question. So let's differentiate them. So animal tissue is simple tissue. Sorry इसको क्या simple कह रहा हूँ मैं. Animal tissue is a complex tissue guys, complex tissue. Here a plant tissue is simple organization. In animal tissue, living cells are abundant. Please write, guys, in animal tissue living cells are abundant and as compared to dead cells. But in plants, dead cells are abundant. Dead cells are abundant as compared to living. Now, guys, what is the third one? Plant tissue is classified into permanent and meristem. Plant tissue is divided into permanent and merismatic. But as in animal tissue is divided into four types. That is connective, muscular, muscle, nervous, and epithelial. Okay, guys, this main three differences. What is one more? Let's take one more, guys. Let's say if it comes in 4 marks, or our main aim to impress the teacher, then one more difference, guys. So one more is in animal tissue, more maintenance energy required. But guys, in plant tissue, less maintenance energy. So guys, here we completed the tissue. One shot, reloaded, guys, very fast. I think this is the first video where I teach in such a fast manner. So guys, it is required, as you all understand, because we have completed the whole chapter tissue in one shot. I think less than 40 minutes, guys. So it is required, something fast is required. So guys, here we completed second chapter of class 9. First one is cell and second is tissue. So guys, let's meet in the next video. Till, keep practicing and obviously keep watching my video, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So let's meet in the next video.